man.
You want crystal gel?
Yours says pirate's booty. Mine says I love wieners.
So my granddaughter was like, "You want something to snack on before your podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah." So she brought me some pirate's booty.
Well, that's
nothing like a little booty before a podcast.
Well, I guess, especially did she steal it?
No. It was legit booty.
Oh, okay, all right.
All right, Michael, I'm going to let you do the honors. Lead us off. Who are we?
When did that start? You are the ones that always started.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, holy crap. Hi, everybody. It's Ron here from Las Vegas, Nevada. Once again on TMI, the podcast. As always, I have with me my favorite. Where are you at? Hey, that side. Who are you?
I'm his brother Mike in Amarillo, and I control everything. See? Here. Yeah. Okay.
You're a smart ass. I'll cut you off. He's always been a bit of a control freak, folks. Always a bit of a control freak, but no. Anyway, welcome you guys. Thanks for joining us. Any that have joined us yet, and for the ones that are going to be joining us. So I know last week I promised I would have an agenda or a topic for us to talk about, and I have to tell you, Mike, how I came across the sign of the times type thing and things that, affect us emotionally. It's a funny story. You ready? Saturday night, I'm sitting in bed, just laying around doing nothing. Wife's asleep. So I usually watch some mindless TV show just to fall asleep to. And I was watching Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, which is one of my favorite movies. There was an episode in the movie where all the kids are buying Wonka bars and they're just throwing away, and there's trash piled up in the gutters and the street sweepers clean it up. And the guy says, quote unquote, "This is the sign of the times." And it kind of rung a bell with me. I'm like, you know what? We all have that sign of the times, something in our history, whether it be a certain year, decade, whatever, that reminds us of that time period. Correct? Am I correct? Are you following me?
I'm with you. I'm also keeping an eye on my back here because we're dog watching.
That's not a dog. Mike is pony.
I got a pony.
He's pony watching right now.
And it's not Sugar Cube or Clip Clop. It's an actual. It's Bubba, bless his heart. He has no idea how big he is. But yeah, look, sign of the times. Can I tell you this? For the first time in probably the almost a year that you and I have been doing this, I can say with absolute confidence, I believe we're over-prepared for tonight. Somebody made me go find a bunch of. Just so you know, I didn't get to them all, but I got to quite a few. But I love some of your choices. But he sends me this list. Let me tell you what he sends me. He
sent him a picture of a list.
He sends me a picture.
Like, Mike, here's what I talk about. Find some pictures.
He says, I don't know how to convert these to PDF because StreamYard, you have to have everything in PDF or you can't show it. So check out his list. Okay, this is supposed to be stuff that triggers memories. Okay, Star Wars, Berlin Wall, I'm good with. The Shuttle Challenger, Watergate, disco music. You're probably not getting any. JFK, 9/11, Route 91.
That was the shooting here that happened in Las Vegas.
Okay, all right. And then
he goes straight serial killer.
Then he goes straight up, just morbid with Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, and Eileen Wuornos.
Yeah.
If those actually evoke memories for you, brother, I'm telling you, because I love and care for you this much, get to a psych, get to a shrink.
Let me get you a phone number.
You have some problems, bro. Yeah, hey,
Well, look,
Lori,
dude,
yeah,
look,
you
look, I
found
tell
us.
you, and you have to admit, and you know this as well as I do, man. The late '70s and into the '80s was like the mecca of serial killers, and I don't know if it
Sure
was
was.
just because they were starting to become more noticeable or identifiable, or what do you want to call it? But I mean, come on, dude, I can probably name 15 of them through the '80s.
Oh yeah, please. In the 70s, well, 80s in particular, and unfortunately, again, Lori, yeah, you found us, and thank
Lori,
you for finding us. Um, but yeah, in the 80s, can I tell you this just real quick? And I because I we have so much I want to get to tonight. Um, Ted Bundy. I had a friend in high school, and we Ted Bundy actually went through a period where he became sort of a cult hero. And I know that sounds terrible to say about a
no, but
guy that
it's true though.
has scores of murders to his credit. He admitted, you guys haven't even scratched the surface as so far as the people I've killed. And he took it all to the, to the death chamber with him. But yeah, he was sort of an underground cult hero, especially, I think it was in Jefferson County, Colorado, when he escaped from that
Jumped
jail.
out the second story window of the courthouse.
He became a cult hero. And I have to tell you, I can't remember if it was Dave Bowler or whoever it was with me in high school, but yeah, we sort of jumped on the Ted Bundy
Hey, man.
bandwagon. And so yeah, when I saw Ted Bundy, I thought, okay, I'm kind of there. I'm not sure I'm there with Eileen Wuornos. She was just
Yeah, that was brutal.
okay. Here's our Uncle Ken. You've been cut off before,
And you will be again, trust me.
more than likely. Hey, Uncle Ken. Hey, by the way, happy. I wished him one, but happy belated birthday to Uncle Ken.
Well, happy birthday, Uncle Ken.
Yeah, he's doing real good. I better not go there. I better not make a joke.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to see him pretty soon. I need to be careful there.
No Chex Mix for you. You get no soup.
He's going to be a Chex Mix Nazi. No Chex Mix soup. All right. So I thought one of the things we would do here real quick. Oh, by the way, let me throw this out before we get too far into anything. Let me find this. If you know who this guy is,
I know you talked about him, but I have no idea. I can't wait to see this.
have you never seen this commercial?
I've never seen this.
Brother Ron, you got to be kidding me.
By all means, let's lead off with this, Cat.
No,
Because
I'm telling you.
Your last promo, I'm sitting there like, I have to see what this dude's all about.
All right, he does a commercial. I wish I had the video, but if you know who he is, let us know, okay? I'm going to tell you, this may be a good night to be here because we may have a little fun with this, all right? Nice. But I know one of the things you had talked about, and I want to get to your slides, but I have loaded up so much music. I mean, I went music crazy this morning, and I'm going to play one for you and me, if I can find it here.
Or is it me and you and a dog?
It's going to be, well, it's a memory. It evokes memory, and I love your thought of what do you see, what have you heard. I love it when that happens, and I instantly can go back to something. We've talked about this before, but tonight we are way loaded with optics and audio, such as this right here.
Oh, Dad. Absolutely. 100%.
What does that take you? Yeah. What does that take
Dad.
you? This is like the old man song. Now, I will also tell you, this is probably the song that Ronnie and I can instantly recall Dad with. And if you don't know what it is, it's Holly's Lonkel.
Lonkel. This is Elena's, my youngest granddaughter's favorite song, just so you know.
Is it really?
Yeah. I have a guest appearance coming in.
It's Michelle.
It's the cat. The cat is back. So, all Mike, right. I'm going to tell you, Mike. Do you know how I know that's Dad's favorite song?
No.
Dawn.
Okay. Now, can I tell you this before you say anything else? There were other songs, and I go back to the truck. I go back to the 8-track and I go back to some of the tracks he had in there. I'm going to hit a couple here, and you're going to think this is funny. Ready? I don't know if you remember some of these, but
Oh God, yes.
yeah, Everly
Yes.
Brother and
I never heard it. Oh yeah. Go on.
I was told there's one more, and I want to get to some of your images because they're wonderful. This one here, Daddy had his 8-track in the truck. I can't remember if it was a best of, but I remember this song every time it came on. I thought, God, I love this song.
Oh God, yes. They call him Amos. Amos Moses. Mary Reed. Dude, you can never go wrong with your
They hunted alligator for living. It just knock them in the head.
in the head with a stone.
The Louisiana law gonna get you, Amos.
You know, I gotta tell you, Mike, and you're gonna find it. You won't find it hard to believe.
Down in the swamp, boy. Now everybody blamed his old
This is on my work playlist. I listen to it every day.
Moses was a boy, his daddy would use him for alligator bait.
Bang.
Tie a rope around his waist and throw him in the swamp. Alligator bait in the Louisiana bayou.
Yeah, you think I maybe listened to that song a bit when I was a kid?
I was saying, dude, that is, I kid you not, Mike, that is on my work playlist that I listen
really?
to work every day.
I
Every
love
day.
it. I love it. Okay, I want to get to some of your images, and first let me say I love you, Michelle.
Everybody, this is my wife, Michelle. Say hi, Michelle.
Some of the ones you had were I thought I didn't get to all yours. In fact, I will tell you, I only got to like 3 or 4. But I found some of yours interesting. This one, I'm going to throw it out right now. Everybody with the face knows I have not seen Star Wars.
Oh my God.
But I know what it is.
So like, I gotta go.
Oh yeah.
But here's the thing, Mike. You know, I talked about invoking memories and feelings, and I told you last time we are the last generation, Gen Xers are the last generation that knew a life before Darth Vader. And I remember as a kid, it came out with in 77. Am I correct?
I think you're right. It came out around
I was like 9 years old. 9 years old when Star Wars came out. So yeah, that is one of my things. That is my sign of the times. I mean, let's face it. As much as you haven't watched it, and I'm okay with that. Most weird people haven't watched it, but you know, it's one of those things that it translates through decades, Mike. I mean, decades. Like I said, my 7-year-old grandson knows who Darth Vader is. And you're talking something that's now 40 some odd years old.
And to add, a little context to it, we just lost James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones. I mean, what did I do? And we're gonna skip off for just 1 second. That guy is the voice of so many things that most kids today have no flipping idea the voice that they listen to.
And to add just another layer to what you just said, I posted after the day that he passed away. There are some that pass away that you feel sorry. With James Earl Jones, he is one of those that my first thought was, wow, I am so glad he was in my lifetime.
Absolutely. Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Between Star Wars, Darth Vader, between The Lion King, he was one of the characters in Arnold Schwarzenegger when he did Conan. I mean, you just go on and on. I mean, and you could probably name things that people have no idea just because he did caricature stuff. You didn't see him, by face, but that voice. I mean, it's like oh God, it's just one of those voices that just emulates through the decades.
my two favorites, the two movies, because everybody went Star Wars. I get all that. My two for him were Field of Dreams and, ironically, Sandlot. I thought he was.
I feel you on that. Yeah.
I loved him in Sandlot, and I really loved him in Field of Dreams. All right, so if you're just hopping on, you can do more than watch. You can do what others are doing, like Uncle Ken here. Thank you, boys. I think you guys are doing a great job. Keep it up. Thank you, Uncle Ken. Man, I love him. All right, let's get to some more of your, because I have it.
Mucho, señor.
But I want to get to, okay, I want to get to this one. When I saw this on your list, I found it interesting that you chose this.
Well, let me tell you why I chose this. And Matt, if you're on, I'm sure you can attest to this. I can remember I was probably in 5th grade, maybe somewhere right around there. And I remember them wheeling. Remember back in the day, Mike, they would wheel the TV into your classroom on that little gray cart, And I remember wheeling it in there, and they're like, "Oh, the shuttle's going to launch, and we're going to watch it, blah blah," and it fucking blew up. They unplugged it, wheeled it out, and went like, "Okay, back to class."
Yeah.
Today it would have been, well, here's a number you can call. We're here for this, we're here for that, and I'm not knocking it. And I understand that kids today might be a little more sensitive, but yeah, but what Mike's showing is the shuttle Challenger, and it was the first time a civilian science teacher that went into space with them, and they got probably just before they hit the outer atmosphere, had a default, and the entire ship blew up. Well,
I'm going to do something here. So when I think of the Challenger disaster, I think of that image right here.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself earlier, I thought there was a piece of audio that when I think of the Challenger, I think of this piece of audio. And in the piece of audio, it says, "Roger, Challenger, go for throttle up." Now, as luck would have it,
wind as we just heard. Throttling up, 3 engines now at 104%. Challenger, go and throttle up. Roger, go and throttle up.
This shuttle mission will launch, my God.
1 minute 15
right
seconds.
there.
Velocity 2,900 feet per second.
Right
Altitude
there,
9
it
nautical miles.
exploded.
Downrange distance 7 nautical miles.
This is not standard.
and
This
they
is not
had
something
no idea. They had no idea what was going on.
Well, here's the sad thing, Mike. You're dealing with something with thousands of pounds of fuel built by the lowest bidder.
Well, yeah, that's what NASA did. And
I mean, I'm sorry. When it comes to something like that, I want somebody that knows what the flip they're doing.
yeah, and it came down to really like a $3 O-ring is what it amounted to. So the Challenger, yeah, I'm way on board with the Challenger. I wanted to maybe hit some more music that might take you back. This one, I'll have to explain a little bit. And it's not just because she's here, she's home now.
Well, split it to me.
There are songs. There's only a couple that I think of. And so this one, it'll make no sense to anybody but to my wife and I.
Is Yoko?
Uh-uh. This is the same group that brought you Boogie Oogie Cookie.
It's all because
of you. Oh, yeah. Yoko, something rather. What does it?
This is our slow dance.
Yokosuki or Yoko?
It's a sukiyaki.
Yes.
I will tell you that there was another one when Carolyn and I first started dating. That no matter where I was, whenever it came on, wherever we were, I actually did this in the middle of Academy Boulevard one time, and it was to this song here.
Oh, please.
This is Commodore's "Lady, You Bring Me Up When I'm Down."
You bring me up when I'm down.
And I would stop wherever I was, get out of the damn car and start dancing.
Oh, love it. Commodores are one of those ones that just last through the years. Man, you can watch them when they're 20 or watch them when they're 60. They're still just that good.
Right. So what should we do some more of how am I doing on time? I'm not worried about time right now.
We're good. Fuck it. We got all night.
I'm gonna do this one. I'm not sure why. Well, no, I'll give you another one. This one is another one from Dad. Dad listened to a variety of music. Do you remember Chuck Baker coming on every Saturday morning in Colorado Springs?
Nah, probably not by name, but I might know the voice, but not by name.
He did an oldies show, and Dad loved it. So every Saturday morning, we woke up to oldies music. But Mom and Dad had this weird collection of albums, everything from Ferrante and Teicher to Farron Young to Tammy Wynette to Everly Brothers. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
he had a
Very
Johnny
eclectic.
he had a Johnny Cash record. And
Who didn't back then?
there was one song on there that always, anytime he'd play it, I couldn't wait for the track to get to this one. They're really
I've got a lot of blues on my mind.
Don't know it,
And
man.
at least
I
a
don't know what
million
I don't know what it is about the
miles
song,
behind me.
and I love it.
And all that
I just
I've
know
got
the words.
between me and Pauper's Hill is a wrinkle,
but-
crinkle, wadded dollar bill.
But you know what, Mike? That's exactly what that right there is exactly what I wanted to key in on. That right there, something that'll take you back to that moment, but you really can't explain why.
Right.
So I'm going to tell you something. So you talk about things that you hear that remind you of your wife. I know we don't have it, but I'm going to play it on my phone, and I'm going to hold the microphone so you can hear it. And you'll find the irony in this, Mike, because you know this song, and I'm sure you do. But every time I hear this, reminds me of Michelle.
Easton Burt,
Yes.
I can name that tune in 3 notes.
And I don't know why. For some odd reason, I mean, Michelle and I, we've been together for almost 20 years now, and that song always takes me back to back then, for lack of a better term. You know what I mean? Big Bad John, dude, love that. That was another Dad song right there. Big Bad John.
Big Bad
John. You know, the funny thing is back then, Mike, when there was music back then, they legitimately legitimately told stories. It wasn't like today. You listen to music today and it's just the same thing over and over and over and over, repetitive. You know, back in the 60s and 70s, they actually told a story of what the song was. Big John is a great example of that. It was a story of a big mountain of a man, as they call him, and he worked down in the mines, and the mine fell, and he held up the beam until everybody came out. And at the end of the story is, at the bottom of that mine lies a big man.
Big man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So, oh yeah, stop. I'm getting chills.
Get chilled, bro.
Amen.
I got one for you. This is when I hear this song, I can't explain, but it takes me back immediately to when we lived on Debonair. No, nothing else. Just it takes me back to Debonair.
Okay. Oh, you love it.
A bit of that false start first. Now it'll stop, and now it'll kick in. Get ready. Here it comes. It's his brother's very letter.
Dude, turn it up.
Hey, even today.
Turn it up. Oh, love it.
Man, I rolled all these down.
So what do you? And I know you don't probably know the answer, but what do you think that feeling is that invokes your memory to go back to that time in your life? Was there something that happened? Was it the era? Was it the year? Was it what was it?
That's a great question, and I really don't know the answer. There has to be a reason why that song, even to this day, when I hear it, I automatically go back to Debonair. And I don't, there must have been something going on at the time. I can't explain it. Now, I will tell you, the next one I'm going to run here is, if I can find it. Well, that's not it.
I got one for you. This is, you remember when we were kids? Well, you not so much, but me, going to the skating rink when I was a kid. On the weekends, I was the DJ at Skate City and Torchlight on the weekends, and there was, we had the slow dance, and everybody had their girlfriends and the couples dance and stuff.
Yeah.
And anytime I hear this song now to this day, will take me back to it. Back then it was still Torchlight, and then it became Skate City after.
Because I have my skating song. Go ahead. Can't hear it.
There's something that I want to say.
Okay, yeah.
The words sometimes get in the way.
A little snowball dance, a little snowball. Am I kidding? Am I lying? Am I wrong?
Oh, dude, you're so right. This is Freddie Jackson.
Yeah.
You Are My Lady. This was my go-to couple skate song, and I'm the dude up in the DJ booth, so I'm all like, yeah, I'm gonna skate with you, girl. So
yeah. Okay, I'm gonna give you my skate song, and then I'm gonna give you one that takes me back to junior high. Here we go.
All right, bring it on.
You're going around. Oh hell yeah, buddy. Oh yeah. It's skating around. Oh yeah, girl. You know you love this. You know you love this.
I think I slipped the disc. Best song of any pedophile I know. KC and the Sunshine Band.
All right, so junior high, I had a massive crush on a girl. Her name was, I think I've shared this story.
You did.
And so we had a jukebox, Sabin Junior High, which no longer exists, but at Sabin Junior High, there were a couple of songs that I really liked, but there was one that every time I heard it afterwards, I would think of her. And it's this one here.
So Into You, one of my favorite songs.
And there's just something about music. Music is.
This is another one of my songs that's on my playlist at work.
Is it really?
Walked into the room.
Your brothers.
There was voodoo in your eyes.
Yeah, buddy.
Go, boy. Was captured by your smile.
There's truth in the thought that music, no
matter
matter
what that makes me think of, Mike?
Pirate booty. There's nothing that I can say to that.
Except for R.
Because I generally don't think of pirate booty.
But no, dude, all those songs are right on point. Oh,
if you're going to be thinking pirate booty,
Rick James, bitch. When I came home last night, you wouldn't make love to me.
When I came home last night,
hold on.
You wouldn't make love to me. You went fast asleep. You wouldn't even talk to me. You say I'm so crazy. Coming home intoxicated.
all right. right, we have to get to a couple more because
we can do that all night.
All right, so you gave me this one on your images, and I found it interesting you chose this. You put this on your list.
Yeah, you know what? That's I think that's more because it was really the first political anything that I knew of as a kid.
Really? See, because there's a couple of images there that I'm going to give you. I'm going to skip over a couple. Of course, everybody's going to recognize this one. This is just, unfortunately, minutes
before. Yeah.
But when I think of, I think of the iconic, that maybe that picture right there. But for that, I think of two other images. And unfortunately, it's in the aftermath of what happened that day at Dealey Plaza. And
it's got to be her leaning over.
No, actually, it's this one.
Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah. That's an iconic picture, dude. Where'd you find that? That's great.
That's John Jr.
Yeah, that's great.
And unfortunately, he's no longer with us either.
Yeah.
And then the other one is, oops, I almost messed up there. Let me take it off the stage and remove this one as well. Remove this one. And I want to put one more up there because I don't know that anybody else thinks of it in those terms, or in this term, but I think of, it's the caisson. And there is something about the tranquility and the meaning of this caisson. And I don't know why, but the caisson almost sticks out in my mind as much as, if you want to call it, the bullet shot.
The act, yeah.
Because the caisson to me is so somber, but there's something absolutely beautiful to it to me.
Yeah, well, it's. I mean, look at it. It's the simplicity of it. And I hate to say it. We don't talk politics a lot, but it's the one of those times that brings us together as Americans. That unites us in the fact of we are all the same, no matter what.
We've talked about that before, brother. That unfortunately, it's too often tragedy that does bring us together. It's the fluidity of politics and religion that just tears us apart.
Divides everything.
Yeah, I had a guest on my show today, the radio show, and she and I are by and large kind of opposites when it comes to, and I want to be careful here, when it comes to the subject of abortion, because that's a big topic in Amarillo right now. We're voting on an ordinance in November. And so Lindsay came on and we had a discussion. But I will tell you this. She and I had a wonderful conversation. Did we agree with everything? No. Would I break bread with her? Absolutely. Sure. It was because, like I told her, we don't find answers to the problematic questions if we don't get involved in conversation.
I want to tell you something, and then we're going to get to Michelle's comment. But I appreciate that comment, Mike, because it makes me think of Uncle Jack in Montana. Because Jack and I are on different playing fields as far as political wise goes, and even sometimes religion wise. But he and I can sit and talk on the phone for hours and have the same love and respect for each other we had before we started the conversation at the end of the conversation. And that is, in my opinion, the biggest heartbreak of what we're dealing with right now as American citizens. Is we can't just be different and be united. So,
yeah, and so there's a lot to blame for that. Media, politics. It's if they would just let the commoner like you and me run the thing,
that'd be really great. So, Leslie, what Michelle had to say? My wife says, I'm so tired by the Beatles. Takes me back to being a little girl sitting in front of my dad while he's a great guitarist, by the way. Played the guitar and sang this song. I would cry, and he would ask if I should stop, and I always said no. And I hear her tell these stories, and that this is the epitome of the reason I asked this question, Mike, of things that invoke feelings, because feelings like that, and I hate to say it, and Michelle, don't take this the wrong way, but we're losing people left and right.
Yep.
And it's these core memories like this that you and I need to keep talking about to hopefully invoke the feelings in other people to start thinking about those same things.
Right.
Hey, Norma, how are you?
Norma, Lori, hey Ron, did you know that Hal was a great dance skater back in the day?
Get out of here. I cannot see that. Sorry.
Hey Lori, did you know that I myself was quite the dance skater?
I was light on my feet, baby.
My man Jubal, how are you,
Jubal,
brother?
where you been, man?
Class skating, one girl on both arms, and one trying to hold me up. Hey, whatever it took to meet the chicks.
Hey, Jubal, when are you going to be on our show?
It'd be fun to have Jubal on. I'd love that.
No, I'm asking him. I want an answer from you, young man.
There you go, Jubal.
When are you going to be on my show and Mike's show? Today is Talk Like a Parrot.
Yeah. Is it really?
What are you talking about? All right, what else you got, Mike? We got a couple more things that I know I gave you and I want to talk about.
Okay. Well, let's do that, and then I want to get to again. See if I can remind people. This guy, right? So again, we have quite a few people.
Google search this guy.
Yeah, you have to go find it. You just need to watch the commercial, Relief Factor. Look for this guy's mug, and it'll make sense to you when we get to what we're going to do here. Okay, this one was kind of interesting. You picked the Berlin Wall.
Yes.
Let me remove this, and we're going to add this to the stage. This is the Berlin Wall coming down.
What was the statement that Reagan made? Tear down that wall.
Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Yes, that, yeah. But and again, that's just one of those things because that literally was the sign of the times. It was what was in our face at the times, and the story behind it. For those of you that don't know, go back and educate yourself on the story of the Berlin Wall. It's a sad, depressing, happy. You pick something and you'll find it in that story.
It's a you're right, dude. Go back and learn the history of the things that have disappeared. Now, I will tell you, unlike the and again, we're not going to get political, but unlike the statues and other shit people have torn down in the last few years, the Berlin Wall was actually
iconic.
It was a moment of rejoicing when the wall started to fall because it literally separated East and West Germany.
Yeah.
And it was, there are some wonderful pictures, if you can get the aerial shots, that literally show you the divide. You see the wall, and one side has life, and the other one just looks dormant and replete of life.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's just, okay. Let me remove.
And I think, Mike, that was a great analogy because in my mind, that's what I see is that because I didn't really understand. I was a kid. I didn't understand what it was. But what's this freaking wall we're tearing down? When you see that image between East and West and the comparison between the two, it's like no comparison. I'm sorry. Yeah. There's no comparison.
I would almost
you had one land that was almost like desolate, dead, black and white looking almost, and then the other side was colorful, beautiful, thriving.
It's sort of the same way when you look at the division between, is it the border between Mexico and the United States? You can see clearly a divide in life. So I'm telling everybody about the Relief Factor guy. All right. If you're familiar with Relief Factor, I need to hide this because I'm going to have to hide us. Let me get to.
Well, stop laughing at me. Answer my question.
And I'm going to have to get rid of that. because you and I are going to disappear here in just a minute. So yeah, if the relief factor guy, if you know what I'm talking about, this may be funny to you. So stand by.
My wife and I, we've been married for 17 years, and during a recent outing, we went over to the Joann's Fabrics and over to the Bed Bath & Beyond. And while we was in the Bed Bath & Beyond, I had to go to the bathroom. So I asked the little girl helping us, I said, ma'am, I hate to ask you, but do you have a bathroom I could use? And she said, yeah. So I went to the bathroom. And while I was standing there, I undid my pants. It was gone. My wiener was gone. I went back out to where my wife was, and I told her, I said, honey, I got a problem. And she said, what is it? I said, it's gone. My wiener is gone. She reached into her bag, big shoulder bag she carries with her, and she dug around for about 10 minutes. And she said, baby, it's okay. I've got it taken care of. She said, here, take this. I think it'll help you. After taking it for a couple of days, I got up one morning around 1:30 in the morning to go take a wee-wee. It was there. It wasn't the whole thing, but it was starting to grow back. I ended up getting up again about 4, and I went potty again. And there was a little bit more of it. Finally, the next morning, my wife and I let her get up and take her mood medications and get some coffee in her. And I carefully went up to her, and I said, baby, it worked. And she said, I'm glad it did. I said, no, you don't understand. My wiener is back.
Dictatrol is serious over-the-counter medication for those that once had a penis but somehow managed to lose it, perhaps by a horrible machining accident, mistimed naked frolic in bear country, an acid spill in chemistry class. Wife put it in her purse and won't give it back. It simply shrunk down and disappeared. You sold it for just one more hit. You still have it, but it mocks and frightens you. Do not use Dictatrol if you're a woman wanting to identify as a man. Dictatrol is regenerative medication and cannot perform miracles or enhance one's ability to play make-believe. Dictatrol is only for those seeking to regrow or rediscover their wieners and should be kept out of the reach of children, the mentally confused, horny Muppets, Canadians, and marionettes named Pinocchio. Use only as directed.
Did you say for one more hit? The Canadians? I love it. Oh, only it wasn't for one more hit. Stop my jaw.
She has it in her purse and won't give it back.
Wife has it in her purse and won't give it back.
All right, so see, now you have to go find the commercial.
Oh my God, my jaw hurts. When you said, and you gave it up for one more hit. Oh God, stop
It's
it.
back. My wiener is back.
It's back. It worked, honey.
Oh.
It worked.
thought-
Oh shit! You have to look. Shut up. You have to warn me about this stuff before you throw it out.
No, I want you to piss your pants. I think it's all right.
Oh God, my jaw hurts.
I could be pissing my pants right now, and you don't even know it, frankly.
Okay, so we got 3 more things we got to get to. We're at 44. Let's do it. Rock on.
I told you.
Talk about.
I didn't get all your images.
What do you got?
I didn't get all your images.
Okay, I'm going to tell you. We don't have to be images. There's 2 things. We'll skip the serial killers for tonight. We'll skip that to the next one. But there's 2 things about.
Let's not go with the serial killers. Not after Dictatrol and my wiener's gone.
That's not a good lead off. No. There's 2 things. We talk about train. What'd you say? Train went right off the track. Yeah.
Michelle, the train was never on the track.
So look, there's 2 things I want to talk about. We're at 45. So they kind of kind of go in conjunction with each other, but one of them is 9/11. It amazes me how many kids today have no idea what happened on 9/11.
You know what? And that's actually a great analogy. It's a great thought. And I actually ran that through my head this past 9/11. And you have to remember those kids are how old now?
Oh God.
So they'd be 23 years
old.
Yeah.
But still, even the 10, 12, 13, 14-year-olds, most of them have no idea what it was.
Well, listen, put it this way, Ron. What is December 7th, 1941 to you?
D-Day?
It's the attack on Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor?
Neither you or I were alive, but it's an important date. And
Sure.
I mark it every year.
Well, I'm going to tell you one more, Mike, because I know we're up against. I'm sorry to cut you off, because I know we're up against it. But Route 91, and I know you would ask what is that, because you didn't know what it was. But if you're from Vegas or anywhere around Vegas or Nevada or California, Route 91 was the tragic shooting that happened when the 64-year-old psycho broke out the window at the Mandalay Bay and started shooting down into the crowd of a country concert right outside Mandalay Bay.
Was that Jason Aldean?
I think it was, yeah. 60 people dead. Senseless deaths. And I hate to say it, Michelle and I have friends that we know of. Somebody that she used to work with, his sister-in-law was celebrating her birthday there, shot in the head and killed. Our oldest daughter was there when this was going down, and I still remember the night that she called. I didn't answer my phone, but Michelle had her phone on for whatever reason and took the phone call and almost thought it was like, okay, where were you at a bar and something broke out? Because it was very much, mom, I'm hiding. Mom, they're shooting. Mom, I'm hiding. So we thought nothing of it at the time. And then all of a sudden you hear, pap, 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 tink, 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 tink. You could hear the gunfire going over her head.
Wow.
So, and it, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to call her out on this, but it probably affects her, if not everybody, still to this day. I mean, it was for years that she couldn't go into a crowded restaurants. And I remember pulling her aside one day and I said, "Baby, you were literally in a full-blown war zone. This isn't something that you have prepared for. This isn't something that you have trained for. This isn't something that you are accustomed to dealing with. And so for you to be the way you are right now, absolutely.
Perfectly understandable.
Absolutely. And so I mean, those were a couple of things. Those are definite, especially 9/11. Those are definite. I can remember where I was. I was laying on my couch at home here in Vegas. Somebody called me and said, "Turn the news on." And about that time is when the first plane hit the first tower. And we thought, oh man, something just went awry, an airplane just hit one of the twin towers. And then all of a sudden, your worst thoughts were confirmed when the second one, you could literally watch it coming in.
Yeah.
I wish you had, I'm not trying to be saying anything negative, but one of the biggest images of that time, sorry, I get a little emotional when I talk about it, of that time was literally a guy jumping out of like the 30-second story window.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
because it was better. It was better than the alternative.
Yeah, it was. They were leaping everything 80 floors and above on one tower. If you go back and watch, and I think this is why I think even Carolyn kind of wonders, why do you watch this stuff every year? Because every year I want to be reminded of it. I don't want to forget
because that shit happened with nobody knowing.
Yeah. And if you go back and watch, there's one or two documentaries that do that. One will say I think it's an ER person, and they'll say, while we were trying to tend to people, we kept hearing what a sound we couldn't identify, and we'd hear it every few minutes. And they said somebody finally said, "What the hell is that noise?" And they turned around. It was people hitting the ground after they've jumped out of the buildings.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. And again, it's I couldn't even imagine one being in that situation, and two, mentally making that decision to jump out an 80-story fucking building.
We just don't know how. We don't know what we're capable of until we're faced.
Dude, words right out of my mouth. You never know what you're. People always say, "I could never kill somebody." Well, wait till somebody has a gun to your face or to one of your kids.
We just don't know until you're forced to make that decision. You don't know what you're capable of.
No.
So,
right. I don't want to end tonight on a somber note, so think of something happy to talk about, dude. I got to tell you, is the loneliest night that you live.
You know that, don't you? Are you going to let this one take the crowd?
The loneliest night since the number one.
Is there anything Three Dog Night does that's really good?
The saddest experience you'll ever know.
Well, I tell you what.
You have to admit, Mike. You have to admit, in life, God, this is the best song ever. Prince singing over. Oh,
Live the line and
when you play the music, I can barely hear you talk.
All right, well, it's 52.
So I gotta tell you, turn that shit off.
Oh, we can hear you.
I gotta tell you, this is the reason I love doing what we do, because you and I, look, Mike, you've been at radio 40 years?
42 years.
42 years. Can you name, and this is an honest question, can you name anything that brings people or time together more than music?
Food. But music is the number one.
Food. No, dude, I'm in with that.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be funny. Music and food. You want to bring people together and tell the world to go to hell for a little bit? Put some good music on, serve some good food, and the world.
I'd say when I'm having a moment, Mike, in my day or whatever, I'm just having a moment. I'm just like, God, I'm stressed, I'm overwhelmed, or whatever. You guys can't see my office in here because of everything I have in here, but I will literally say I have a full-blown surround sound system in my office here. I will sit here, do paperwork with whatever fucking music I want to listen to at the time, blaring.
Yeah.
Blaring in my office to the point where I guarantee you the neighbors hear it. But you know what? It invokes a feeling of just
doesn't calm you down.
Woosah to me. You know what I mean?
I do the same thing. I'll do it in here. I did it this morning. Carolyn gets a full-on concert, or I'll go out in the shop, and some of my go-to is Motown. I love classic Motown. I will belt you out some Motown tunes. We've done it.
Yep.
I've done it. We've done it.
I have the video of you and I in Old Town, Colorado.
Yeah.
Singing when we had Dad with us.
Yeah. So it's all right. So there you go. That's the show for tonight. I thought I just heard somebody. Like right now I'm hearing things.
Me too, but I won't admit it.
Yeah, did you hear the same?
No. So look, I gotta tell you, man, I don't know who was listening, who was on, who was not on. this was a good show. I enjoyed it. Never when I live, but I pray that we can go back to that. Amen. And I agree, Matt. You know, it's you know, we talked about this last week, and Matt, I can't agree with you more. It's the times that cause us pain that bring us together more than anything else. And that, in my opinion, just sucks. It should be, we should all be united all the time.
Nobody talks when in the time of crises. Nobody knows whether you're Democrat, Republican. Nobody knows if you're gay, straight, black, white. I doesn't matter.
I can do you one better, Mike. When we were kids, when you were like 8 years old, hey, you want to play?
Mm-hmm.
I'd give two fucks less about anything else. Do you want to play?
Hey, you guys want to come outside and play? Didn't care about anything else.
And that's it. It didn't matter. So look, man, I seriously, I have such a great vibe about this show tonight, Mike. Thank you so much. I love you so much. Can't tell you how much I really do. I appreciate everything you do. I know you're the technical side of this. I'm just the mouth. I don't do the stuff that you do. So thank you so much for putting things together for me.
I'm dumb enough to give it a try. So I tell you what, I love you, brother. And until next week, we're going to I'm going to let Patrice Russian take us out.
Jubal, next week.
All right, guys. Love you.
Bye.
Love you.